Yeah, the reason why I wanted to jump into this Fast and Furious world is because A, I'm a fan of this world, I'm a fan of these movies, and B, the opportunity to make an action film is something I've always wanted to do, and the chance to play, in such a huge playground was super exciting for me, and so I gave it a shot, and I felt very fortunate to be doing it. Well, one of the things I try to do is, I want to try and honor all the great things that the previous filmmakers have done before me, and sort of keep it in the same tone, keep it sort of in the same world, but try and bring some of the visual stamps, the kind of visual stuff that I love aesthetically, that is inherently to me and to my filmmaking, and for example, the kind of stuff I like to play with is, have fun with the camera work, and I did bring some of that cool camera work into this, and also wanting to bring what I love from my thriller genre background, which is suspense. I love to bring suspense and tension into a lot of the set pieces here as much as I possibly could. For me, it wasn't about trying to top the previous movie for the sake of topping the previous movie in terms of the scope and the size and the big action and all that. For me, it was all about creating something that we haven't quite seen before. And so the idea of like throwing these muscle cars out of the back of a plane, that was exciting for me because I've never seen anything like that before. And cars jumping from from skyscraper to skyscraper, that was something I've never seen before. And even smaller, more intimate sort of fight action scenes where Paul Walker's character Brian fights with Tony Jaa's character, and they're falling on a door, and the door is going down the stairs, and it plays like a sleigh ride, So it's stuff like that that I really love, just visual things that we have not quite seen before in an action film, and that's what I wanted this movie to be about. I think Jason Statham's probably the strongest foe or the strongest protagonist that our heroes in the Fast and Furious franchise have ever gone up against, and so Jason brings with him obviously his gravitas that he has built up in all his other movies. He is an action movie star in his own right, and so the idea of watching Jason go up against The Rock or Jason go up against Vin Diesel at the end was super exciting. And so it was. I felt very fortunate to have Jason in this particular installment because he and I get to be the new kids on the block, and I get the chance to create his character with him. That I couldn't quite do with the other guys because they already established. But with Jason, I could do that, and it was fun. Yes, I feel extremely fortunate to have worked with a living legend on this film, Mr. Kurt Russell. He's he's like one of the greatest guys. I grew up on his films. I love all the different kind of movies that he's done, and to have worked with him. People say it's best not to work with your heroes because you might be disappointed. That wasn't the case. Kurt Russell was truly, truly a great person. He was so awesome to work with, and he was so professional to work with as well. And I just could not say enough nicer things about that dude. Natalie, oh my god, I feel very fortunate to have worked with such a beautiful human being and such a beautiful soul as well. Natalie's not only gorgeous on the outside, she's beautiful on the inside as well. I love how sweet and innocent she is, and I think she brings a lot of that innocence to the character that the character kind of needed. She's someone who's very smart, and someone who's a bit on the outside, a bit on the fringe of society, but yet kind of, like young and innocent enough to kind of be manipulated by these greater forces around them. And I think that's a reason why her character really took a liking to our heroes is because she can see them for who they are. She feels the truth that these guys have, how real they are, and even though in a lot of ways they're bandits, but they're truly they're thieves with honor. And I think at the end of the day, her character kind of blends in with them, and she becomes part of the family. Yeah, I really think the different locations in this film really gives it a very sort of worldly quality, you know. So we start off in Los Angeles, then then we track to a little bit to Tokyo, and in terms of story, and then we finally go to Abu Dhabi, and I think it's incredible. It's incredible because it's such a beautiful visual contrast. Because one of the things I wanted to do from a storytelling standpoint was I wanted, the sort of classic sunny days of Los Angeles, that very, very sort of like outdoorsy beach culture of LA. But then our characters then hit up the mountains of Azerbaijan, where I wanted that to be, colder, to be more muted of colors up in the, up in the mountain ranges there, and then to contrast that with like the harsh, beautiful orange saturated deserts of the United Arab Emirates was for me as a filmmaker such an exciting thing to do. To visually play with the different color palettes and then showing the rest of the world what Abu Dhabi is like was really exciting. I never knew that that part of the world had such a huge interest and had such a huge culture in cars, and they love the Fast and Furious franchise, and so it was very fun for us to go there to play in their world, and there were such respectful people to have us there as well.